All right, today I want to talk to you about rounding and making estimates. So let's get started. First of all, there's all kinds of rhymes to help you to remember the rounding rule. One that I've heard is 5 or more, raise the score, 4 or less, let it rest. If that can help you to remember, then by all means memorize that. Anyway, often our directions given for solving problems indicate which place value to round our answers. So how to round is governed by the number to the right of the place value that you need to round to. So let's look at an example. Okay, so if directions say round to the hundredths place value. All right, well first let's identify that. Beyond the decimal, we have tenths, hundredths, thousands, 10,000s in this particular example. So if we're rounding to the hundredths, that would be the second place value here beyond the decimal. And so then the number beyond it, just to the right of it, is what will govern how we round it. So the little rhyme comes in handy, 5 or more. So if this number is 5 or more, then you're going to round that up. So that would become 4. If it were 4 or less, it says let it rest. In other words, just don't change it. Okay, so as you can see, I rounded 4.2356 to 4.24. because I rounded it to the hundredths place. Now let's look at some estimation techniques. And there's more than one way to estimate. So, and it kind of involves rounding as well. One way to estimate is called front end. And so what you do is you add the front end and then you estimate the back end, or what's beyond the decimal. So here we've got 4.33, 2.76, 1.21, and we're supposed to add those. So if we want to quickly add them in our head, we're just going to add the whole numbers. 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And then all these decimals, we're going to round them to a single digit. So 0.33, I'm going to round that to 3. 0.76, I'll round that to 0.8. And 0.21, I'd round that to 0.2. So I would just kind of go down the line and say 30 plus 80, that would be 110, and then 0.2 would be 130. So if it were money, it'd be $1.30. So 7 plus 1.3 would be 8.3. Anyway, and we call that front end estimation. And I just unplugged my iPad. So let me get that plugged in. All right, now let's look at another example. Okay, another example is called clustering. And basically what that is, let's say that we have 4 numbers we need to add, and the front end of them are similar in value. So what we do is we just kind of find the average of these values, and that would be maybe about 33. And we would just say there's 1, 2, 3, 4 values here. So our 33 is what we clustered to, and 4 values, 33 times 4 is 132. Okay, so that would be what we call clustering. In other words, you cluster to one value and then you multiply that one value. Okay, let's look at another example. Another example is called compatible numbers. This is mainly used in dividing, and so numbers that are rounded to be easy to divide into each other. So for example, 31.94 divided by 3.54. Well, if we kept the decimals, that would take us a while to actually divide those out. So I'm going to round the 31.94 to 32, and I'm going to round the 3.54 to 4. So 4 goes into 32 8 times. So basically it's like 32 divided by 4 is 8. And notice I use the wavy equals. that wavy equals shows that it's either been rounded or it's an estimate. Okay, thank you.